While there's plenty of conversation to be had about the free agent targets and new incoming players, Andrew Painter is on the exact pathway that the Phillies are hoping he is. The young pitcher has shined in the Arizona League, looking sharp on the mound for some strong success, and this could impact what the entire outlook for this Phillies pitching staff is. Luke, I know you've been hyped up about the development of Andrew Painter, what we're seeing from him. We had his final performance today in which he had 2.2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, which I believe were all consecutive. I'll give you your moment to wax poetically about what we're seeing from Andrew Painter right now.
Yeah, this is my guy. This dude's a freak. He had another great start. He finished the Arizona Fall League, I believe, in 5 starts. He had 15 and 2/3, 4 walks, 4 earned runs, and 18 strikeouts. A really impressive fall after it's really his first time throwing a lot since the surgery. I believe he's leading every AFL pitcher in ERA and WHIP. Yeah, right here on the screen. He threw 28 fastballs in the Arizona League game today. I believe he topped out at 98.9, like that says. I believe one of them they said hit 99.0. He averaged 95.8. He threw 17 sliders, 5 curveballs, and 3 changeups. Yeah, I mean, this is great for the Phillies. This guy seems like he's going to be ready a little earlier than I think we maybe thought once he had the surgery done originally last year. Just looks freaking dominant out there. It was really just one big hit today. That was the run. No homers. He only allowed 1 homer so far this fall. I believe today they said was his last start of the fall, so he is done now. But just some awesome work and some really nice things to see out of your top prospect.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I'm not mistaken, there was kind of some weirdness about when he got the surgery, right? Wasn't it like delayed for a period of time that they decided to, or they tried to work through it? What was the situation there?
Yeah, so he got hurt. He felt something in a spring training game. They sort of gave him a few days off. They gave him like a week or two. They wanted to kind of see and kind of just like run through some procedures. I think their goal was they didn't want to just rush a 19-year-old at the time right into Tommy John. They really wanted to weigh everything out and see. But then eventually he did end up having the surgery. So it did get delayed, I believe, almost a few weeks to a month. But I mean, the bottom line was they didn't want to just, like I already said, throw a 19-year-old kid right into Tommy John because God forbid he doesn't need it.
Sure.
And then you go through that whole thing. But luckily they got it out of the way, got it done. And it seems like he's healing up very nice so far. So that is really nice to see for the Phillies.
Yeah, never something that you want to see from a top pitching prospect is Tommy John this early on, but there's more success stories now than ever. And we did get a couple quotes from Dave Dombrowski regarding things backdating towards media day. And this article states Andrew Painter will be a starting pitcher in the Philadelphia Phillies organization for the 2025 season. Where Painter starts the season remains a mystery. Phillies president of basketball operations Dave Dombrowski doesn't have a timeline for when Painter will be on the major league roster, yet the team will build toward that happening. Quote, he's going to be a starting pitcher. I don't think there's any question about that, Dombrowski said. Now, he has to earn his starting position with the big league club whenever he gets to that point. He is a very, very talented individual. It's apparent he's healthy, and he'll get a limited number of innings in the Arizona Fall League, which we just discussed, and then he'll be in a position where we're going to have to make a determination about how we're going to use his innings next year. He's not going to be a guy that we can count on to throw 180 innings at the major league level. So, Luke, what's kind of your thoughts on where he starts out the season, what the timeline is for him getting to the Phillies?
Yeah, I think he's going to be ready a little earlier. I don't think he's going to be out there for opening day. But once again, while he does look great and he looks ready, I don't want this, and I don't think it's going to be. I don't think the Phillies want to rush him.
Right.
I think even if he throws a few innings, maybe even a month to start next year, maybe even for AAA, just to kind of get everything going, see some live at bats, and then get him ready. I would love for him to be up by June. If that was a situation, I think that'd be awesome for the Phillies. If he was ready to go earlier, then I'm for it. But once again, I don't think they need to rush him by any means.
Yeah, and to continue on a little bit, Dombrowski says, quote, The rust is just coming off. The other day he was throwing great and he gave up 2 runs, which is very unusual for him. He usually doesn't ever even give up 2 runs. He'll get better and better every time he goes out there, so the rust will come off. Painter is expected to pitch 20 innings in the Arizona Fall League before the Phillies decide on his next steps in his progression. Dombrowski isn't sure what the plan is for Painter, but it's something the Phillies will discuss. Still only 21 years old, Painter will be with the Phillies in spring training and was technically on the Double-A Reading roster this year. He was out for the season rehabbing elbow injury. And it continues lastly to say, does he pitch at the minor league level for a while and then come up? Does he pitch 2 or 3 innings at the beginning and add more innings at the back end of the year? Does he have a consistent number of innings all year long? The Phillies do have a blueprint for how to manage Painter. The Pittsburgh Pirates threw Paul Skeens 27.1 innings in 7 starts last season at AAA Indianapolis before calling up to the Major League club, where Skeens threw 133 innings in 23 starts. Quote, he talked about how happy he was with that situation, Dombrowski said. He started in the minors, but wasn't coming off an injury either. So all of these are factors, but those are things we'll talk about in spring training next year. Now, to take this a step forward towards this actual Phillies squad, how does this impact their outlook for the pitching staff? Obviously, there's Zack Wheeler, there's Aaron Nola, Ranger Suarez is still around, Christopher Sanchez has developed, but it is that 5th spot that there's questions about. Now, Taijuan Walker is still under contract. He's on this program to hopefully return him to form, but I don't think there's a high level of optimism that is going to be the case. We know who Taijuan Walker is at this point, unfortunately. How does Painter fit into that mix? And do you think this kind of changes the need to go out there and attack another starting pitcher?
Yeah, I think I would love for them to get a 5th starter.
Okay.
I think we know that. I don't think we want to watch any Taijuan Walker next season.
Nope. Not even a little.
All right. Yeah, it's nice we're on the same page there. I would definitely love for them to go get one. A guy that can sort of throw you some innings. Doesn't have to be the flashiest name. It doesn't need to be some big contract, big guy. Granted, if they wanted to go front end, and that's what they're thinking, maybe. There has been a lot of rumors about Garrett Crochet, obviously in the trade market. That is definitely a lot different of a situation than being in a sort of free agent market and as a 5th starter. If you can get that guy for the right price, I think the opportunity is there for the Phillies. They've been listed as one of the higher up names for that guy. So that's another situation. But if they're looking for necessarily a 5th starter, I would love a guy that can really just go out there and just eat innings until Painter's ready.
Yeah. And I will note, kind of my take on the 5th starter spot, it's more from the standpoint of, for me, when that spot is struggling, as Taijuan Walker will and does, it just puts so much pressure on the top end of the arms to make sure they deliver and provide this team wins. And to the credit of Zack Wheeler and Aaron Nola, they've been excellent in that role that they have delivered. And Christopher Sanchez obviously was a huge storyline last year. But it is really frustrating when every 5th start, you basically have to chalk up a loss or your offense going off for 10 plus runs, which is not a sustainable way to build. So there has to be something done to address. You cannot let Taijuan Walker just walk in here as the perceived 5th starter is kind of the way that I view things.
Correct. Yeah, no. Taijuan Walker needs to earn this job. And if he comes back next year and he looks like a completely different player, then maybe you can give it a shot. But he is not the guy right now. He is not the guy that I want out there as of right now. I would love for it to be out of house. But I definitely want them to prioritize that, because I don't want this to turn into the Phillies win 4 games and then lose every single 5th day because it's Taijuan Walker or it's some random guy like it was for the last 3 months of last season. Until Andrew Painter's ready, there needs to be a set guy there.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe Andrew Painter can be that guy ready to push him right away. I'm not optimistic that is the case, and I do think there will be a more careful approach, as there probably should be. But very encouraging stuff coming out of the Arizona Summer League. And just to highlight things once again, he had 18 strikeouts, the number 32 prospect in the overall class here. And the last thing here, once again, fastball range from 94 to 98.9, average of 95.8 through 17 sliders, 5 curveballs, and 3 changeups. The stuff looked like it was back, which is very encouraging after Tommy John. So any final words on your guy before we sign off here, Luke?
No, that's my guy. If for some reason Andrew Painter is watching, you're my guy. You're a freaking monster. I am so excited for this kid. He's I think Phillies fans are gonna like this kid really, really fast once he's up in the majors.
Okay, love to hear it. I did originally claim Johan Rojas as my guy. It's been a bit rockier of I guess, period of time than I expected for Rojas, but I think I still got to rep him. So right now, still tentatively placed as my guy on this Phillies team that I'm hopeful for, but could change. I can be won over by the other young prospects or young players out there. So we will see how things shake out, but very excited to see what Andrew Painter has got, and looking forward to see how he can stack up against major league talent when that opportunity presents itself this year. So let me know what you guys think in the comments of who your ideal fifth starter would be. What do you think the right pathway with Andrew Painter is? As always, make sure you're smashing that subscribe button if you have not already. Drop a like on this video, and me and Luke will be back talking to you next time. Peace.